All right, well, good. Let's go ahead and get started.
Let's do it.
All right, well, welcome.
Hi.
We are filming today from Ah-Nab-Awen Park. I think I'm saying that correctly. And if I'm not, I'm owning it. That's how I'm saying it.
Have you tried saying that to the maps?
Oh, the maps has no idea.
Because when we're driving, my car is like, you can only do voice. I have to tell it.
Okay.
So I had said Ah-Nab-Awen. It had me at some place 33 hours away. And
33
then
hours?
I'm like, that's not even remotely close to what I said. And then I'm like, do I talk like I'm a mush mouth and maps can't? So now I'm trying to really enunciate, but I feel that it makes me spitty. So
okay, so we have that same thing, but with our Alexa. Okay, so we say to Alexa, play this or play that.
Yes.
Not even close. Alex was just doing that yesterday. He was like, Alexa, play this song, and then it put on something completely opposite.
Yes.
And he's like, that's not what I said. And then he asked her again. I end up unplugging her. That's like her punishment when she's misbehaving.
You have been so bad.
I do. I'm like, I've had it with you. You're in so much trouble, and I just unplug her. I'm like, there, now you're dead.
Put Alexa in the corner.
Yep. Let them take me as far as they want to go. And it's time for me to say, they won't break me, I'm braver than I know. I was made for this. Oh, such a time as this. Oh, I was made for this.
It's like my fridge, and I know this sounds ridiculous. My fridge is Alexa.
Nice.
So, I could pull up right now and show you what's inside my fridge if you wanted to see. It's just
That's
crazy,
amazing.
But it's kind of fun.
Like if you run low on milk, does she tell you you're running low on? I mean, not that you drink milk, but you know.
So, well, if I'm at the store and I wonder, do I have this? I literally just can open my app and it will show me what is currently inside my refrigerator so I can see if I need more of something. Or it will give me recipes based on what is in my refrigerator.
Okay, so on that note, would it know what was in like leftover containers?
No.
And because I'm like picturing my refrigerator right now and I'm thinking I have a whole bunch of leftover containers. So then it would be like you have cottage cheese, and I'm like, but it's not though.
But you
don't even know. I don't know. I don't actually know what's in
stuff.
there.
It's either butter, it's margarine, it's cottage cheese. I love it.
But I just wonder what your refrigerator would analyze the contents of my refrigerator and be like, I'm not quite sure. You've got a whole mess of something in there.
I would have some odd recipes based on what's currently in my fridge.
Right. Yep.
Well,
I love it.
So, yeah.
I love it.
Well, that was a weird little, we went off Alexa and Google.
We do so good at tangents. Like, we should win an award for tangents and conversations.
Throw something out there. We're off and running, so.
All right, well, good. We'll start today with a cheers.
Cheers.
We're drinking our water.
Lemonade.
We have to at least get our story straight if we're going to say what it is.
Well, lemonade does have water in it, so.
We're drinking lemonade.
And there's ice cubes in it, so that's
We're
water.
drinking iced lemonade.
Oh, yeah, iced
It's delicious.
lemonade. Yes,
Yeah,
it's
amazing.
very delicious.
So, Heidi, how have you been doing with the heat for the past couple days?
I love it.
Do you?
I will take this any day over cold.
Do you guys have air at your house?
No.
And you're still okay?
Mm-hmm.
So my bedroom was 92 degrees the other day. And I was like,
ours doesn't
that's
get that
just
hot.
a little, because we're on the second floor, right? And so our basement is like 52 degrees. You go to the main floor and it's about 80. And then you go upstairs and it's 92. Yeah, I caved and I turned the air conditioning on just for at night while we're sleeping.
Don't blame you. We have like a portable one. We also have a window one.
That's what we have, is just window.
The way our house is set up and how it gets sun in with the trees, it does much better than you would have expected. And we open it up at night, and then it holds the cool for quite a while. So we're
That's
doing
awesome.
all right.
And it helps to live in the woods, though, too. I mean, you have
does.
such great shade and everything there.
It does. So,
yeah. I have found myself a little more crabby the past couple days than I usually am.
You're a little,
not like really badly, but
little swampy.
I'm moving like a sloth a little bit more, and I'm a little bit more, we'll call it snippy. Just snippy.
Oh, see, I've been a little snippy.
Yeah.
I've been a little angsty.
I love it.
All right, yeah.
Well, good. Well, so today,
Yes.
we're going to continue with our summer theme. I am
Yes.
so loving, first of all, that we're doing this on location everywhere.
It's amazing.
And
Watch for us.
I'm so excited. Like, I feel like there's so many different cool places that we can go in the summertime, and it's so much better to be outdoors in the summertime than it is indoors.
And I love that we can feature Grand Rapids.
Yes.
I mean, this is our town.
Yes.
Why not
We love Grand
feature
Rapids.
it? And
So first we were on the roof
Which was-
overlooking Grand Rapids, which was
I kind of felt like
amazing.
I'm like, oh, look at me living
I know.
like the Jeffersons up,
Felt a little
moving
special.
on up. I kind of did.
Yeah.
And then
Today
I had
I'm
to get
feeling
on the
very chill.
elevator and leave. And now
Yeah.
I'm just a park person, and
We're
it's
just sitting in a
good.
park
It's perfect.
doing our podcast.
I know, because
It's
who
so
doesn't
exciting.
do this? We just sit here with cameras and
Well, it was
microphones.
quite funny because people walk down this path quite often, and so they were kind of looking over, like, what are they doing? And then when we pulled the microphones out, then they started to understand a little bit more.
I can't wait to interact with some people.
Because usually, if you were sitting in chairs, you would turn that direction and look at the river. So they're like, why are you facing the parking
looking at
lot?
the parking lot?
This beautiful building reflecting the clouds right next to us
Isn't that
is
pretty?
just gorgeous. Yes, I love it. I love it. Well, talking about being outdoors,
Yes.
I love to be outside in the
I do
summertime.
too.
I mean, I love to be outside in general. I'm a little bit more of a like I cocoon in the wintertime,
Oh, yeah.
but spring, summer, and fall, I am outdoors as
Yes.
much as possible.
Same.
And I just feel like, you and I were kind of talking earlier about all the things that you can do in the summertime. Mm-hmm. Like even down here. How fun is it? You bring your kids down here, you
Yes.
go for a walk down these. I mean, there are so many paved paths in Grand Rapids
Oh, it is
that you
such
can
a
walk down.
walkable
You
town. Mm-hmm.
can bring a stroller down it. You can bring those cute little bicycle things that don't have the pedals and let your
Oh, the
kids
little
just
balance
balancing
spikes,
on
and
it.
they're
I mean,
adorable.
we were downtown all the time
Mm-hmm.
when my kids were little. I mean, we lived on Leonard. We weren't
Oh,
very
sure.
far, so we went down all the time. Went to all the different festivals and
So
all
fun.
the food. I mean, we just really wanted the food. That was the biggest thing for us, was trying all the food.
Food is so good.
It is.
In food trucks, I
Food
am
trucks are
such a
my
food
favorite.
truck fan.
Yes.
Oh, I love them.
We had, when we went up to the Blessing of the Bikes, we went to a food
Yes.
truck, and I got a Philly cheesesteak, and it was so
good.
good. And it was like $12, and I didn't even care because I was like, I'm supporting this person that is running
for
their
sure.
business out of this truck,
yes,
know?
and you probably got what you ordered, unlike my lunch today.
Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry. Can I please have a burger that is not made of meat with no cheese? Sure. Here is a double quarter pounder with cheese
then
and
I'm
everything
like,
else on it.
Maybe we weren't clear, so I'm like, I'll check the receipt.
Yeah.
And it very clearly said ketchup, lettuce only. And I guess in my world, that just kind of means
Ketchup
only,
and lettuce
not in
only.
addition to cheese and onions and tomato and pickles and all the other stuff.
Yeah.
But oh well.
So did
Here
they
I
fix
am.
it for you?
Oh, we were on our
Oh,
way.
you already
so-
drove away. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I have nothing to feed
I
you
think
today. I brought you
I-
fruit last
I
time,
ate
and I have nothing to feed you today. I could probably find a mint.
I had something's got to be under the seat. So I had the fries. Robert had 2 burgers
Okay.
of some sort. We got what
Made
they
of
hand-
something.
You
Yep.
know, I think it was kind of like Grab Bag Thursday.
Excellent.
Basically, pay us your money.
And we'll just
And
give
we're
you
going to
something that
hand
we
you
can
a
reach.
bag, and what you get, you get. It's what we felt
It's like a mystery
making.
bag. It's very exciting.
Yeah,
Except
so-
for when you can't have the stuff
I
inside
know.
it.
I'm watching for the people. I'm lurking.
Oh my gosh.
Gonna give
there's-
shout outs tonight.
There's so many
people.
people. It's so fun. But one thing I love about summertime in Grand Rapids is I do feel like it shifts a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the past couple of years have been a little rough in Grand Rapids.
It's
the
been
crime rate
different.
has been
Yes.
a little higher than it used to be. And I feel as though when summertime comes, some of that shifts.
Yes.
It becomes more family oriented again, and people are all out in the streets.
It
and
feels
You go
different.
to like Rosa Park Circle, and there's just people eating out there and enjoying each other and having so
Yes.
much fun. And
I
so
want
I love
more
that.
of
Grand
that.
Rapids just kind of comes
More
alive
of that.
in the summertime. And
Yeah.
Yep.
We need to be walking more when
Yes.
we have the chance. Park further away and then walk through your city, walk
Yep.
through your town. I have discovered so many things in Grand Rapids on foot that I would have completely missed by car. You have
You
no
don't
idea
pay
how
attention
much
when
is
you're
here.
in your car. If you're not driving and you're in a car,
Yes.
what are you doing? You're looking at your phone,
Oh,
or
yeah,
you're, you know what I'm
talking to
saying?
the driver.
Talking to the driver. You're not paying attention to
Trying
your
to put
surroundings.
Ah-Nab-Awen in the
Oh, yes,
navigation,
exactly.
and it took me 30 hours away. But
Man, I'm so glad you made it.
oh, me too.
It was a quick trip, 30 hours away and back. But you're right. I mean, if you think about it, like you drive through your neighborhood, right? And you don't see most things.
No.
And then you take a walk through your neighborhood and you're like, oh, so-and-so
I
did that
know.
to their house, or this person
know.
did that. And then you get ideas for what you could do to yours, or you're able to give compliments on what they
Yes.
did to theirs. And then when people are out and they're communicating and they're talking, and it reminds
Interacting.
people that the world doesn't revolve around them.
Yes.
You know, and that there is community. There is life, doing life together.
Yes.
You know, is so important.
People need to learn
Yeah,
how to do that again.
I agree.
After the COVID stuff, when everybody retreated and going around people was
right.
something you avoided. And there's still an awkwardness and there's still that distance, but I'm seeing it getting better. In summertime, I think is going to help a lot with that because
Right.
people are like, oh,
I
it's
feel like
warm,
we
it's
all acted
beautiful,
like
you
a
wanna
bunch
be
of middle
outside."
schoolers, you know, like
Oh.
don't look at other people, don't talk to other
I
people,
know.
you know, like let's just all sit in our own little
Yeah,
corners
and be mad at people that aren't doing it just like we are.
and have short tempers and
Oh, it
yeah.
wasn't. It was not a good time in
Nope.
history for people. We didn't
Yeah.
really show how amazing we were through that whole thing, and I'm just as guilty. I had some rough times. COVID was rough for me,
Right.
But here we are.
Well, and I think for me, and Erin and I were just talking about this earlier, that like I've gained weight recently. It's my fault.
And you
I
look
love
amazing.
Food.
You look
I
beautiful.
don't hate how I look. That's the thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, so I'm comfortable with how I look. But I know I can be healthier.
There's
I
a difference.
get tired just walking places,
Right.
and I'm like, this is not okay. Like, my kids are all at this really fun, like, you know, late teens and early teen kind of stage. And I'm like, I don't want to be the mom that's like, I'll catch up with you guys or whatever. You
or
know?
just I'm gonna sit here and you go do your thing. And,
Right. And so I was like, oh, but it's so much work. This is what I said this morning. It's so much work. And he says to me, so you put like 100% in everything you do. Like you work really hard at everything you do and you put 100%. He's like,
Yes.
why do you not put that into yourself? And I was like, oh, come on. I'm
Why
like,
do
that's
they
so
go
convicting.
right to the spot? Like,
But he was so right.
I know.
And then I said, but it's so hard. And he's like, so you're just going to put minimal effort into yourself. And I'm like,
Maybe.
guilty, a little guilty. But it's gotten to the point where my body craves exercise. My body
It
is
feels
craving
good.
that feeling that comes from it and all of the wonderful things that come
Yes.
alongside of it. But again, I can't just sit around and wait for this to change.
Right.
I have to decide
yes.
to change it.
Yes.
You know, and
Yes.
I don't like that. I don't like that because I can't blame anybody
Once
else.
I make a
I
decision,
can't whine
can
about
it just
it.
happen? Like,
Yes, I have to own it.
so
and
now
say,
I decided that I'm going to be healthier. So make that happen.
Right. So earlier today, I was thinking back to, I think it was 2 summers ago, a friend of mine did this like hiking thing,
Yes.
right? And it was this cool app and it showed you all these like really off the beaten path hiking areas that you could go
That's
to.
my kind of thing.
And then you like reported back and you would say, I hiked here, and then you would give like some feedback to it or whatever. And then you
okay.
would get like a reward, like
Oh,
a
you
button or
get
something
stuff?
really cool, like a shirt or, you know, if you completed all these things.
Rewards are great motivators.
I know. I was like, I'll take a t-shirt and go hike, you
Yes.
know? So I was thinking that could be really fun.
Yes.
Because I can either do it by myself or I can invite other people. But you know what I'm saying? But I don't have to wait on other people. Like I don't have to
exactly.
say, oh, it's something you can do
sometimes
communally
that
or by
solo
yourself.
hike can be so nourishing for the soul.
Yes. Oh, I totally agree. And it's interesting because when we go up to our property in Ludington, it's a cabin on Hamlin Lake, and it is just gorgeous up
How
there.
do I not
right?
know? I
don't
spent
know.
so much time on Hamlin Lake in
Yeah.
Ludington.
It's we're on like the smaller side of the lake, like
Oh.
so we're right off of Nurnberg.
Yes.
And like you're 5 miles up Nurnberg, and then you take all these back roads to get to it. So it's my mom's family's property or whatever.
How
But when
amazing.
we go up there, there's something that just naturally takes over, and everybody wants to go for
It's
hikes, and
trees
everyone wants
and
to
water.
be outside, and it just they don't even think about because they do not have technology up there. There is no TV,
That's what's
there is
so
no
great.
service, there's nothing. Like it's just. And it used to frustrate me as a teenager, like all the rest of it, I didn't care. But as a teenager, I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm coming from New York and I can't even whatever, we didn't even have like a ton of the cell phones and stuff then, but it was like the lack of TV, But it would take me about a half a day and then I would be totally over it and out in nature and having so much fun.
And forget how annoyed you were that
so I'm thinking
there
about
was
doing
no
that.
TV.
I'm thinking about doing that hiking thing because
I
feel like
that's amazing. Invite me
it's an
sometime.
awesome way to see areas you wouldn't normally see.
For sure.
It's not
For
just going
sure.
for a walk around the block. It's you go to this destination. I remember with her one time I went with her and we had to walk like all the way around Robinette's, but on the other side of Robinette's. And we walked around their field that's on the other side of the road, and we went all the way back behind it, and that was where the trail started. And I'm like, I would have never known that was there.
There's a lot of runs out there, and it's some work to do, though.
It was. I mean, it was, but it was gorgeous. And I had no
beautiful.
idea that it existed.
So I think that you need to do, in however many days we want to do it in, but the Superior Coastline backpack in and hike.
I might have to hike a little bit before then.
We have to carry everything that we need, and we're going to find where we're going to camp and
I love that.
follow the lake shore. But I've wanted to do that for so long because it's so beautiful.
Yep.
And I completely believe now there is something about being out in the forest. There's something about trees that just restore something in you.
It does, and you can't explain it.
I know.
You can't really put it into words.
It's
I know that
just-
poets and writers and stuff, they have done that before. But it's something, it just awakens something within everybody. It doesn't matter who it is. And I think especially of like city kids that are completely landlocked in their concrete jungle, you know, that have never really seen nature.
That experience.
And you watch their reactions of when they experience either the beach or the ocean or the forest or whatever they go camping. And it's like, I didn't know a world like this existed. All they know is their sidewalks and their blocks.
Right.
And
that's no fault of any. I mean, that's just their normal
it's just where they live.
thing.
Yeah.
And it's funny that you brought that up because years and years ago when all my kids were home and small, and I worked at the Post Family Farm, and I did school tours.
That's where you left your daughter, wasn't it?
Maybe.
I never forget things that are said.
Maybe.
Anyways, please continue.
So we would get school groups coming in all the time.
Right.
And as a guide, I would take them through the barn and, it's like, here's all the little baby pigs and the baby cows and all this fun stuff, the goats and everything. And it would be educational, though, like talking about it, very realistically that, the animals are both for food or we get eggs or things like that. And the kids are like, okay, and they're just kind of taking this in, and all of a sudden somebody goes, what is that? And I'm looking, and I'm like, right here? And they're like, yeah. I said, that is a cow. And they're like, oh, what do you do with them? And
Aaron's like coughing up a who knows what right now. You good? Okay. He's over here like choking on tree
somebody's
farts.
hacking up a hairball here, so.
You good? Okay.
Awesome.
So they didn't know it was a cow.
Right. And then we were talking about this cow, and I said, how many here have had like a hamburger or a steak? Well, of course, everybody is.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, well, where does that come from?
The
Many of
store.
them are like McDonald's
Right.
or the store.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but where do they get it from? And they were seriously like just perplexed. And I'm like, it comes from them. We get it from a cow. And their eyes were like, what? Like it dawned on me in that moment that they literally did not know that it came from a living creature.
Right.
It just, because they had never seen. Well, of course, just
somebody
get it at
doesn't
the
teach
store.
them that. How are they going to know
Exactly,
that? There's
right.
no association between
Right.
a hamburger sitting on their plate
For sure.
and the moo sound of the cow that's in their
Right.
little books that they read.
Exactly.
There's nothing if you
And
don't teach.
There's not a lot of conversation that just like, oh, hey, so let's talk, circle of life, and we're going to, it's just
But
not,
and I think that that's important. I think a lot of parents are like, oh my gosh, that would just devastate my children. I'm like, why? It's the truth. Why
It is the truth.
Why would we hide that?
Right.
You know? So say to them, yes, we have animals. We have some animals that are pets, and then we have some animals that we use for different labor things, and then some of them we eat. You know, like that's to me as a kid, I'd be like, cool, you know, like thank you for teaching me that.
Well, and it's like I've always known it. My father grew up on a farm, and I spent lots of time up. I mean, it was just...
It was never separated for you.
And hunting was part of the norm. So that stuff I've always grown up with. I've always been a big advocate that you need to be humane.
Oh,
the idea of, killing just to kill or...
Right. Or even treated like Logan did his entire senior project on the inhumane treatment of animals on factory farms, and just trying to come up with different solutions of,
for sure,
yes, we need these animals for our food. Yes,
we do.
It's
not anti-food.
It is not anti-food. It was anti-mistreatment of the animals.
Sure.
It wasn't saying, please don't kill the animals. Like, we still need the food.
We do.
But they don't have to be, the chickens were like debeaked and things like that. So they couldn't even eat. And you know what I'm saying? Like, there's no need for the animals to suffer.
It affects
the
meat
food
that we get from them. Our food chain is just... I mean, they should be in sunshine and acting like they act naturally.
If they're going to give their lives for us to eat them, they deserve to be treated as we would treat an animal that we had. I mean, on a farm or whatever. Not a factory farm, but...
For sure, yeah.
No,
I met this remarkable young man. He was probably 14 at the time, wise beyond his years. And he was definitely a hunter, very much believed in just an earth child.
Yeah.
And just so cool, like really cool. It's like, your mom and dad were amazing with you. But like he would share on social media, like if he went hunting, but he talked very openly about how he says, I always say a prayer of gratitude and thanks.
Yes.
For what I've just been given, because I recognize that it cost this creature its life.
Yeah.
And I need to recognize that and be aware of that and only take what I need, not
Well, and I
just
love
because
that.
I
feel like there's a lot of cultures that they thank the ground that different things come from.
Yes.
And they respect the relationship between nature and humans and things like that. I mean, there's so many beautiful cultures. I don't feel like Americans have that, but that's okay.
I wonder if that makes a difference, because I just saw this, and I would love to try it, but a class did an experiment, and they had a plant over here that everybody just said loving, kind, beautiful things to.
Yes.
And another one that they just said ugly, awful things to it. This plant died. They had the same care, same sun, same soil, same water, same fertilizer. But this one had loving words of affirmation, and you're amazing, and you're beautiful, and you're wonderful. And it thrived and it grew.
Yeah.
In this one, and they said there's a chemistry thing that happens when you're just as positive to where it's this angry stuff.
Right.
But it killed the plant.
Yep. And, you can see it. I've seen different photography things where they take a look at the cells down to the cellular level of different things.
Yes.
And that same concept, that negative versus positive.
Yes.
And I think as simple as like our dog, right? I mean, she's just whatever. She's an interesting dog. But because none of us have quiet voices. Like, we're 5, loud, boisterous, and we don't like argue with each other, but like sometimes we get really excited and we're, whatever, or somebody's venting about stuff.
We're here and we're heard, so.
She retreats like to wherever she can find, and we don't even have to be upset. We're not yelling at her. We're not yelling, but it's just this like negativity. On the flip side, when all of us are like super excited and super happy, she's like bouncing between us, and just kind of like, I want to be a part of this. I want to be a part of this,
There's power in those words. I mean, far beyond what we stop and think. I mean, if it kills plants, it causes our beloved pets to either retreat or just get excited.
Right.
It's
like
gonna
yesterday,
have an effect
there
on
was
humans.
a strong positivity in the air, like so strong, and it was wild. Like, so I'm such a strong empath, right? So I feel everything, and it was like from the moment I woke up, but it was everybody. It wasn't just me. It was like just everybody I came into contact with. It was just kind of this like positivity.
I love
and I'm like,
that.
oh, this is so amazing.
So
One of those
good.
days where it's no effort. There's no effort to put a smile on your face. There's no effort to
Aren't
just
those days the best?
be.
They feel so good.
It was great. It was so great. You know, and on the flip side, you can wake up and all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, like the air is so heavy. I can barely function right now, you know?
Yep.
And I don't have any rhyme or reason to that. I'm never going to try to figure that out. I just
know.
know that it happens and it's real, you know? And I think a lot of people are like, what? You know, a lot of people don't believe in that. A lot of people are like, how can
I
you
do.
feel the air?
I
I'm like,
do.
really?
There's,
like,
I don't
you
know
can
if
just
it's
sense it.
aura, it's a
Yeah.
vibe, it's a, there's just something that
There is.
present, you know, good
Yep.
or bad. And
Yep.
I've started on those bad days, I literally will vocalize that it's not welcome around me.
Right.
And I will call in what is good and
Mm-hmm.
beautiful and loving and
You have to. I mean,
So-
otherwise you get sucked into it.
Oh, without
so
a doubt.
easily. Especially people like us that are empaths, and we're like, oh my gosh, we're in it. Like, okay, now we feel everybody else is
I know.
everything, you know.
I
And it just
know.
like I remember watching the show The Flash with my kids, and one of the woman's superpowers was an empath. But I don't think that I would want that as my superpower.
oh
I
no.
feel like I already
as soon
have
as you said
some
it,
of
I'm
that
like,
as my
oh no,
superpower.
that's awful.
Yeah. I remember one time we were talking about superpowers and I said, I want the ability to fix anybody's problems no matter what it is. So if
Oh.
somebody they're hungry, I can go like this and give them food. If somebody needs to figure something out, you know, like something's broken with their car, broken with whatever, instantly I have the tool and the ability to help them.
Yep.
You know, if
Yep.
there's a relationship that's broken, I know the right words to be able to help those people communicate.
Yeah.
Like that is what I would
Yeah.
love my superpower to be, is to just
Aw.
like Little Miss Fix It.
Just make the
Just
world.
like fix things. Yes.
Aw.
Yes.
I just want, I'm on a mission to anybody that I can. I want them to find their joyful life
Yes.
in spite of circumstances.
So what would you name your superpower then? Describe that.
Oh,
I know.
my superpower would be
So that's your problem, right? You want to help people. That's your problem you want to solve. So what is going to be like what is your superpower then?
See, now I'm on the spot. Now I have to
I know.
think about this. And then a
So
costume.
is it this? Is
Can I
it
get a
you're
fun costume?
releasing? Like, are you releasing them from the things that keep the joy from them, or are you helping to find the things that will give them joy?
I want to remove what's preventing the joy from coming.
I love that. You will need a cape for that
Yes.
because you'll need to be able to fly to different places.
Yes.
Yep.
A lasso of something.
So it's
Or a
like you're
spritzer of
freeing
joy
them. So you're
juice or
freeing them
something?
of the shackles that are keeping
Yes.
them
Yes.
where they are.
Yeah. It may not necessarily mean you're going to all of a sudden be living this fabulous, glorious life.
Right.
But right where you are, you feel a contented happiness and joy.
I love
And you
that.
love being in your own skin. That's what I would like.
Because
So-
there's a difference between like the ecstasy of like like when you're
Yes.
so overly happy
Oh,
about something.
yes.
There's that feeling, right?
Yes.
And then there's the like you're just kind of mildly like okay. But joy to me is like yesterday, I didn't have to think about it.
Yeah.
It just was. Mm-hmm. So whatever it was that you removed from me yesterday,
Yes.
or the air, you know. But I think that that's important because I think for a lot of times in my life, I was looking for that, like that feeling of the way high up here,
high.
you know. And I couldn't find
Instead
the
of
contentment with that middle ground.
contentedness. There's joy in being content.
There is joy in
Mm-hmm.
being content. There's joy in just breathing and
Yes.
just being and closing your eyes. And like right now, like I'm closing my eyes and the breeze is unbelievably beautiful.
And the
It is
birds.
just
The birds.
it was funny. We were listening to the microphones with nobody in it.
Yeah.
And you could just hear these
Oh,
beautiful. And
it.
actually, Aaron came into the office yesterday and I didn't have any music or anything playing. I was just working
Yeah.
and stuff. And he goes, "Oh, you have your own music. And I was like, I do. And all outside of my window, because I've got windows all the way around my office.
Yes.
And it was just nature. It was just
Isn't it
beautiful. It
beautiful?
was just singing to me. And I'm
I
like,
know.
that, I love that.
Yeah.
I
You
would
don't
work
get
outside
this
all the
sitting
time if I
inside
could.
a car.
No, you
or
don't.
inside your house. Get outside.
Gosh.
You look super sassy and cute.
You
and
do
I like
too.
how we didn't even coordinate, and here we are in our black and white.
Like, so we're so in tune with each other that we plan our outfits in our brains without
Here we
chatting.
are.
I know. We're so good.
Here we go.
We're so good. I love it.
Yes.
No, I got this dress for $2 whole.
Shut up. You.
$2. I don't even know who makes it, mainly
Does
because
it
I don't
matter?
care. No, I don't. I really
Does it
don't. I don't
matter?
know half the designer. I don't.
know.
I know some of the store names, I guess, but I mean, I love your dress.
I
Where did
know.
you get your dress?
$4 Goodwill.
$4. That I love that.
So-
I love that. And you know, it's who you surround yourself with too. And I've decided this, right? So instead of walking around to the people that I hang out with and being like, I spent $700 on this dress and I got it at this place or what, I don't know why I'm talking like that, but you know, like that's that's my $700 talk, I guess.
People that wear $700
I would be
outfits.
actually embarrassed
I
to
would
walk
too.
up to anybody and tell them that I spent most of my mortgage on a dress, right? And then I would go,
I know.
well, that's just my favorite thing is to find super, super cute clothes at secondhand, at,
sure.
you know, lots of the thrift stores, but also places like Plato's Closet and Style
Oh, yeah.
Encore
Yeah.
and all of that. And then to find it on the sale rack on those, like, oh, are you
I
serious?
get excited.
Yeah, like we were at Nice Twice, Addison and I, the other day, and
Yes.
all the clothing was $2.
Shut
$2.
up.
So I got a brand new bathing suit, literally brand new tags
Did
and
you
everything.
find one that you
I
like?
did.
Does it
and
have
one
a
for her.
diamond in the middle?
There's no diamond. My boobs are nice and contained to the point where if I wear it, I will get a weird tan. But you know, but it was tags on $2.
Yeah.
Had I gone to the
Nice.
store like I was at,
Bathing
you know,
suits are awful expensive
it was
for what you're
$40
getting.
a piece, and I was like, "No, I'm good. Thank you so much." You know.
Yeah.
Anyways, it was so dumb, but yeah, all the clothes were $2. We got a bunch of cute tops and
Love
everything,
it.
and it's just fun. First
Yes.
of all, I find it like a scavenger hunt. You know
Finding
what I mean?
that diamond in the rough,
Yes.
that treasure. You find those unique, one-of-a-kind
You do.
things. And it's funny because those are the things I get a comment or a
I was
compliment
just
on.
going to say that. Yes, those are the things that you get the most compliments on.
Yeah.
And then in the rare occasion that I'll actually go spend money, which I don't, on brand new stuff, people don't notice. They're like, oh, okay, whatever, you know?
Hey, you're amazing and the world is better because you're in it.
Are you talking to random strangers?
Sure am.
That if we teach our children young,
Mm-hmm.
right, that you can find the fashion, you can find the name brands, you can find the
Yes.
whatever, because I'm not going to be ignorant to the fact that kids are mean.
Oh, for
You
sure.
have to have brand names on things or
For
you will
sure.
get teased,
Don't be
right?
cruel to your kids and make it harder than it needs to be. But I'm telling you,
But there's
I've
ways
got all kinds
around
of
it.
Calvin Klein in my closet
Yeah.
that is
You always look cute,
consigned
by the
in.
way. Like you always
So
look cute.
I'm going to let you in on a secret.
I'm ready for
Absolutely
it.
everything that you have seen on your podcast and
Mm-hmm.
not has all been secondhand.
Yep, but
And
like
that-
at your house the other day, you had those cute little pants on and a bright pink shirt, and I was like, "Oh
Yeah.
my gosh!" Like I just
Yeah.
adore you. We pull
I
up, and
d-
Addison's like, "She's so cute." I'm like, "I know."
I have come to the point where I know what I really like. And if I put something on and I immediately, it's like, oh, I just love this.
Yeah.
That to me is my fashion. That's
Yep.
my style. That's coming home with me.
Oh yeah.
I don't need to check to see, does this fit in with this year's, style
Right.
forecast? Is it the right color?
Yeah.
Is it the it thing? I really don't care because it's the it thing for me. Like I get excited with those finds.
And
I love
you
them.
don't find your worth in your stuff,
Definitely not.
but your face reflects how you feel in it.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yes.
you're like, I am wearing a $4 gown, my dress, and I feel.
love this.
But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and I love that, and I wish like we worked really hard to work with our kids on that. You
Yes.
know, we shopped from Once Upon a Child. We've never been wealthy. That's never
Right.
been a thing. We
Right.
we have money. We have our needs paid
For
for.
sure.
You know, but we've never been wealthy. even if we were,
Yeah.
I would have still shopped at Once
same
Upon a
thing.
Child. You know why? Because kids grow so freaking
Like
fast.
crazy.
So fast. Logan went
And-
from a size 14 boys to a size 20 or 32 men's in 1 year.
Yeah.
1
So
year. And
now
I'm like,
imagine
what?
brand new name brand.
No.
The money. And I keep trying to understand.
So many fun people
I
walking
know.
by. I'm sorry.
I try to understand what it is that name brand or that logo, what does that give somebody that is just so necessary?
And I think that's
In
the
their
lesson,
life.
though. I think that's the biggest
So-
lesson is that your
You've
worth.
got amazing hair.
He's got his headphones and he can't hear you.
That's the thing. Everybody's got headphones. I'm shouting random things
How
in
can
the
they
air
hear
and nobody
compliments
can
if they
hear,
have
and
their
it's like,
AirPods in? I know. Maybe they're listening to our
So-
podcast, though.
Oh.
We'll forgive them for that, I guess. Right? But I think that's the thing. We have to teach our kids young that your
Yes.
value does not come from the brands that you
Oh,
wear
yes.
at all. So if you teach kids at like 3, 4,
Yes.
5, right when they start, that they're starting to see this, and it gets really bad in middle school, but
Yes.
even in elementary school, kids get bullied for this.
They do.
But if you teach them, that is not where your worth comes from.
For
That is just
sure.
a thing that is a material possession, and you continually work with them
Yes.
on that. When they get to those tough years, it won't matter.
It won't.
I mean, Addison always describes her style as
She's so
she is
cool.
either a hobo or she is one of the most stylish people in the world. And I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, there's no in between.
I
Like
love
it's either PJ pants
I
and like a
love
crop
it.
top or you know,
Yes.
but she makes it her own.
And that's what I love.
She makes it her own.
It's
she
unique.
at graduation she rocked that black dress.
Oh,
you
it
know,
looks
the
so
one that she wore to the
good.
gala,
Yes.
except she upgraded it, right? So she put even more
Yes.
stuff on it. She had all these like a spider necklace and like
Love
I mean
it.
down to the last detail this girl was dressed, right?
Yes.
She wore her Converse.
Love
the
it.
Converse that she designed. Everything is unique. They are they are hers completely. She designed down to the threading, right?
I love it.
So some of my favorite places to go, Nice
Yes.
Twice,
Love it.
on 28th Street.
So I go to the one on Plainfield.
But I love like all of the fun, like vintage and thrifty, and all these places are popping
yeah.
up all over the place. And I
love it.
love that because you're supporting a small business.
Yes.
A lot of times you're supporting a ministry, you know, whatever it is. So people are donating their clothes to it.
Yeah.
And then you're like, sweet, I get to
Perfect.
spend $3 on this. And, you know, instead of,
Oh, and it's not getting dumped. It's not getting thrown away. And,
Right.
But the other thing that, like, we go and scavenge all the Goodwills and that looking
You
for
guys get so many fun clothes.
amazing old ties.
Yeah.
If you have any old men's silk ties, send them to me. But I take them apart and I make custom bow ties out of them.
Yes.
And they're so fun and unique and one of a kind. And they're 99 cents. That's
I
how much
love
I get a
that.
tie for.
yeah.
And then it becomes this amazing.
Which you can't even
bow
buy
tie that-
fabric for that. I mean, that is
No.
you can't.
But that's the other thing. Like, when I'm shopping, I'm not just looking for like that one piece that, oh, yeah, that's my size. That'll fit. This will be great. I'm looking at fabrics because then I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, if it's not my size or if the style isn't exactly me, can I repurpose it and use
Yes.
this fabric? Because it's amazing. So I've got a couple maxi skirts that are in these great, beautiful prints that aren't the right size for me, but I'm going to turn them into palazzo pants.
I
palazzo
love
pants.
that. Yes.
Easy to do. It will
Because you see
totally
the bigger
make it
picture on
something-
stuff. You
Yes.
don't just take it at that face
Yes.
value. You know, you're like, oh, I could use this for this. Aaron is that same way. Like him and Addison,
Yeah.
I don't even know why I go with them to the store sometimes because they get into their own little worlds of, you know,
My
we could do
guy.
this and we could do that and we could do this. And I'm just kind of like, I'm going to be looking in my section over here. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
But I have gotten brand new buckle pants, brand new tags on and
Yeah.
everything, which I still wear. I've had them for a
This
couple of
had-
years.
This had tags on it when I got it.
Yeah. Harley
Brand new
Davidson
ta-
shirts.
I
Like
found my Harley
so many good
boots,
things.
Harley-
Yes.
yeah.
Yep.
And that stuff costs a fortune new. So,
And to me, okay, the people are going to disagree with this statement, and I really don't care.
bring it. Let me
but-
see if I do.
So we already have so much stuff in our lives, right? Most people have,
Have you noticed how
way
many
too much
storage
stuff.
units there are?
but that's what I'm saying, right? So if you shop at the major outlet or major places. I don't even know what to call them. The retail stores, right? The brand new retail stores.
Yes.
That means that new things are coming on the market that people have not owned. It's more stuff. As opposed to going to the secondhand stores, going to the thrift stores, going to all those places, going to garage sales. Oh, I love garage sales so much. Like summertime, I'm like, woo, bring it, you know? Yes. And to me, doing it that way is it's going, I don't have this, but you do.
Yes.
And I need it, you know? And so then I buy it from you.
Yes.
Rather than just putting more money in some CEO's pocket. Sure. And I'm not saying business is wrong. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying the sheer amount of things that they sell at the store.
Mind-boggling to me.
And I'm like, it's just...
Where does it go?
In the landfill. That's what I'm saying.
Where does it go?
But that's what I'm saying. And so to me, I feel like society, a long time ago, used to be more like the secondhand shop. They would barter for things, and they, you know, everybody would go, okay, I have this, but you have this, and then we can trade or we can whatever.
Absolutely.
And I love that. I love trading services for people. I love trading goods for people.
Yes.
You know, I mean, there's always a way, and it doesn't have to revolve around money.
Everyone.
Yeah.
I think that's why we often look as Americans here like, oh, those poor third world countries.
Nah.
I have stopped to realize all those people typically are grinning from ear to ear. Their kids are happy as can be. They're outside playing.
Grateful for everything that they have.
We would say nothing, but they don't see it that way.
Nope.
And
no, because by American standards, they have nothing, right?
Yes.
But what is nothing? Like, what is that? Do they have health?
Yeah.
For the most part. I wish I could get them more medicine and things like that.
For
you know what I mean?
Yes.
Do they have family? Mm-hmm. Yeah, stronger bonds than we do.
Oh, it means everything to and community.
Yes.
Because they all work together.
Right.
For survival.
So I didn't realize how many vehicles drove on the road behind us. We're being attacked by nature and or service workers.
Bring it. But we have a lot to learn from those people that so many of us feel sorry for. I think they're more right in feeling sorry for us.
Yeah.
And I mean, we're fortunate to live in America.
I don't take it for granted at all. We are very, very fortunate.
What we have here is something beautiful, something special, and we've often forgotten that.
Yes. All right. So the last thing I want to talk about, which is kind of funny, is women issues in the heat.
Oh,
like the men do not even understand, right? Like, I mean, they have their own sticky things, but there's things.
Sweat.
There are places that we sweat and I mean, this is the only reason I would like longer shorts in life is when we get in the Jeep and I'm like, ow. And it's not even the kind of burn that you can handle.
Legs.
You know what I mean? Like sometimes you're like, okay, I can handle this. And then you're like, no, I can't. I literally cannot handle this. It is burning.
It's melting the flesh off the back of your...
It is.
Hot.
And then you stick to it, right? So you go to get out of the car and you're like... You know,
or you have the pattern and texture all imprinted on the back of your sweaty, swampy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I know.
And this is the reason that when we sit I have shorts on, don't worry. But when we sit like this, we have to go like this and then go like this.
Yes.
And then you have to put your hand over all the sweat that was under and in between.
I know.
Yep.
It's okay, girls. We know it's happening.
Sometimes I put deodorant in between my thighs too, because otherwise it just chafes and it's gross and boob sweat. There is nothing like boob sweat. It's just, there's actually at Two Guys Brewing right down the road from our house, one of my favorite beers there is called Boob Sweat.
Oh my gosh.
And I think I only love, I love it. It's really, really good. But I think I love it
brewery,
especially.
by the way, so.
I do too. It's so fun. It is so fun. We could totally, they would let us do a podcast there too.
Well, I think that we should. And they're very supportive of military because they're veterans. So
we've lived in that house for 12 years, right?
Yes.
So we have seen a ton of businesses come and go.
Mm-hmm.
The first business that was there was a 7-Eleven. I mean, I'm
I
dating
remember
myself now, right? Because
7-Eleven.
7-Eleven's been out for a while. And that business did great because it was an established 7-Eleven on that corner, right? And there's really nothing else. There's no other convenience store really. Yeah. So that left. There were 5 that I can remember businesses before Two Guys
That
moved
just
in
never
there
made
that
it.
just never made it. It was so sad because we have such a cool neighborhood. We
Yes.
have we're right next to Lamar Park. We have such a cool community.
You're in a great
all of
location.
that.
Yeah.
And nothing could survive there. So Two Guys went in, and I just remember praying so hard,
please
and then
make
I
it.
was like, I will support them, in
Yes.
any way that we can. And even during COVID, we felt very, very called during COVID to, and I'm not crowing on us, but this is what we did. We supported local restaurants.
Oh, we did
Every
too.
Friday,
Yes.
without fail, we
Yes.
would order from a local restaurant. Sometimes more
Yeah.
than just Fridays, but Two Guys we ordered from almost every week, and we
Yeah.
just, and the community did the same thing. You
To
know what I'm
keep
saying?
them going so they could
we want you to
survive.
stay here. We believe in your business.
Yeah,
I
you're
mean,
part
they had
of the community.
they had a fire, I think it was last year or the year
Yes.
before, and they started a GoFundMe, and it was fully funded and then some. They pour into the community,
Yeah.
and the community pours into them.
Yes.
And I love that. I love it
Yes.
so much. I mean, they donated to, we had one of the secretaries at Potter's House, her husband passed away from cancer.
Oh.
And so they did, the students set up a whole fundraiser
Yeah.
for her. It was so beautiful. It was
Oh.
amazing. They ended up raising I don't even know, $5,000 or $6,000.
Wonderful.
But Two Guys was one of the places that donated
so
to
generous.
that.
They are
and they didn't even hesitate. They were
so
like, "Yeah, sure, come
generous.
pick it up. We can do that." And it was so great. And I love the environment. I love the people there. I just
They're wonderful.
love. Yeah. So shout out to
Wonderful.
Two Guys.
Here you
We
are.
absolutely adore you guys.
Yes.
And people drive from all over the place. We take advantage of it because we're right down the road. We
Right.
walk there,
Yeah.
But people come from, all over to go to that place. Oh my gosh, Heidi, are you being attacked by the bunnies?
I did. I don't
The
know
fluffy
why
bunnies?
I felt like I had to blow it away, but it was
quite
more
fun.
fun. I'm
It
like, I
was
didn't
quite
want to
fun.
let go of my lemonade.
Yeah, our lemonade is super good, by the way.
It's
Cheers to our
delicious.
lemonade that
Cheers.
we're almost done with.
Thank you for this.
Well, good. I feel like we could end here, and I'm pretty happy with it.
Yeah, this was just good.
And if you guys have other ideas of where you want to see us film this summer, we're filming on location all summer long.
Yes.
So just if you've got a cool location you want us to come and film at, we are there.
Yes.
And
we like
we will
adventures.
happily have you on the show too. So
Yes.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.